Welcome back, Sideways fam. Today we are going to be working on the Chrysler Conquest, or Starion, whatever you want to call it. We already got the JZ in the car, as we saw in our other video, or if you haven't, it is on our channel. We're going to be working on the fans today and a whole bunch of other stuff, but for this video, I'm going to be showing you guys what's up with the fuel system in this car. These gas tanks are really kind of funky. They kind of bolt in funky in the chassis, so this is my first time working on a system like this in one of these cars, so I'm gonna drop it down. I've been told that the fuel pump is a inline fuel pump, which is okay, but the fact remains that the pump is bolted to the top of the tank. From what I've seen in pictures, it's gonna be kind of interesting to kind of see how this works. So if that's the case, we're gonna be kind of limited on what we can do with the fuel system in the factory tank. So I'm gonna try, once we drop it, to look and see if it's possible to kind of modify the hanger to put a like a Wobbler 525 in the tank, and you know, just make it an intake pump and put a bulkhead on the hanger and make it how I would make it if I was going to be doing any of the other builds that we're doing, like in a Mark III or any other cars. So we're going to be trying to go PTE line the whole way from the rear to the front as well. So stay with it, and we're going to get right into it. All right, guys, so it looks like around the tank over here, we have some 14mm bolts that go all the way around. I will probably pull it off of the filler neck right here, it's looking like. Instead of having to just unbolt it all from up there, we'll just undo the two clamps right here and get it all the way around. So looks very simple to drop. And then as we're coming down, obviously I'll unplug whatever electrical connectors we have up top. So we're gonna go ahead and get this dropped down and see what other messes to come. Sorry for the bad lighting, but from what I can see, it looks like above the rear end, we have our two fuel lines. That's gonna have like your typical Toyota style connector. It's like almost like an OEM AN fitting that you're gonna have right here for the feed line. And then this is like, this is probably your return line that's in here too, with your evap to the tank, which is gonna be the smaller line that's back here. And judging by that, there's two 10 bolts here for like some kind of bracket that's going on up here. I believe the fuel pump's gonna be bolted on this side of the tank actually, and not that side that I thought it was gonna be. So we're getting all this unbolted real quick, and let's see what the pump looks like. All right, guys, well, that was a pain in the ass. We got it out though. So it looks like we have some kind of breather up here, and then you have your sending unit over here, which is this green connector right here that you'll see. Bunch of spider webs and wasps nests and crazy, rusty, nasty shit. I don't know where this car came from. I thought it was a California car, but obviously probably isn't. You got some kind of feed from the pump where the pump's above it. So it's kind of like a pull pump or whatever, a lift pump or whatever they call it. So I'm just gonna cut the fuel line since we're gonna be redoing all this stuff anyways. And we'll see how we're gonna get this done. Look at that strong man right there. Super strong man. Full gas tank. Woo! Okay guys, so it is out. We already unbolted the fuel pump that was right here originally. I'm actually gonna put it in the tank. I have no reason to want to play with any of this or even mess with this whatsoever, so I'm gonna do it my way. So what we're doing is I'm going to modify this hanger and have it be basically the same exact height that this is. So when it drops in, we're closest to the bottom of the tank. And I'm gonna just modify all this and put a bulkhead in and make it kind of be the way that I'd want it to be if it was in my car. And yeah, so let's get this out and get going on this. All right, guys, so pardon the mess, but wanted to show you guys this. This is a PTFE line. It's basically a braided hose like this that is going to be some kind of plastic that is not corrosive to e85 or whatever else the deal is. Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and spray that out and clean that out before we go ahead and mate it. But right now, I'm just test fitting and then showing you guys how we do this. So basically, this is -6 line. You get your -6 PTFE fittings. You will insert this collet onto the hose. This will slide up, and basically, it's threaded there. You will stick your little nipple that you have here into your collet. That's going to be down here, and then tighten it up, and it makes this super nice line that is now going to last forever and hold up to whatever you want to do. So I make all my stuff for my customers. You know, you get these nifty tools and stuff that you make to make work for everything. So just showing you guys kind of what we all have to do. So right now we're doing the feed line from the tank to the fuel filter, which is going to be the one line that's running right here. And then we're gonna have a super long line that goes, oh sorry, short line's gonna go from the rail to the fuel filter, and then from the filter we're gonna go from here to the tank. So just finishing assembling the 90, and we're gonna go ahead and put the new hanger in the car. So also what I've done with this is I put a Wobbler 450 in the tank now. It'll go directly down and in. This is the part number 267. So anyone wants to know what a Wobbler 450 looks like, that's pretty much the number. Anything TI Automotive that is not gray on the bottom is going to be a real one, versus a black one on the bottom is probably going to be a fake one. So just be kind of weary of that. And then right here, I'm going to go ahead and drill another hole up here. I inserted a bulkhead fitting up here. So now the feed will just go directly through here to the AN fitting, 90 out, down the PTFE line to the engine. So I'm gonna also run the wiring through here so I can run it up into the back of the car for the standalone setup that I run from my self-contained harnesses. So just to show everybody kind of what you can do, this will eliminate the you know, inline fuel pump, the lift pump, and put a real fuel pump that'll do 500-600 horsepower in the tank. It looks, you know, the tank was super clean inside, surprisingly, for how shitty the outside of the tank looked. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some Seal All E85 rated goop for the top of this and for here to make sure that we don't have any leaks coming out of anything. And we're gonna get all this stuff in the car today, so let's get it. All right, guys, real quick before we kind of make this any longer than it needs to be, this is a bulkhead fitting. So if you can see, this goes to -6 90, and then you'll actually drill out the whole entire hole to about the size of this washer, and then it has these Teflon washers in between right here that you will basically sandwich these in between. You'll use a little bit of sealant in between it, not silicone, not basic RTV or some crap you find at Home Depot. It needs to be a specific sealant for ethanol and fuel. But this is one kind of bulkhead. This is just the only way that I can kind of explain it to you guys. I used one on this application that we're doing that you'll see, where basically the bottom of it down here, instead of being -6, goes to a 5/16 barb, and then on the top it goes to a straight -6 fitting. I just didn't want to drill the hole that big. Honestly, there wasn't a lot of room to make this fit. Specific applications, you can use different ones. But just wanted to quickly show you guys kind of what we're talking about. This is called a bulkhead fitting. So if you're trying to do something like this, you are going to need one of these, and you will also have to kind of gauge your measurement. I could have probably just drilled out the OEM feed line to a bigger size and then just go ahead and cut that whole entire thing out, but then it would have required welding in a bracket onto the original hanger in order to support the pump, which you will come to see right now. So just kind of giving you guys a little bit of information for anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about. That is just such an interesting sight, seeing a fuel pump now be going into this tank. So bulkhead's installed, wires are coming out of the tank. We got a bulkhead wiring fitting as well over here now, so that now, you know, we're not going to have any leaks from electrical or any kind of stuff like that. This is going to be, I'm just test fitting this right now, but I'm going to go ahead and cap this off or weld this shut too, just because we're no longer going to be using it. So looks like everything fits. I don't feel anything rubbing on the inside of the tank. All the measurements I took must have been good then. So yeah, gonna go ahead and bolt this all together and put it back in the car. All right, guys, so we are all done with this. as you can see, all good to go. If anybody has anything to say about the little cap we got on this, there's actually no fluid going through this. It's just like an open tube that we use as like a little, kind of like a crutch for the pump to be able to be tied to, so it doesn't flop around in the tank while the car's running. So, I mean, nothing's ever gonna go see through that tube. That's why we just went ahead and capped it. So you got your return line right here. We've already changed to Teflon hose, and we've done the PTE feed line that's now gonna be going all the way to the front of the car to the fuel filter to the fuel rail. So let's get it all back in the car. Hopefully get it hooked into the rail, and then this is gonna complete the whole segment on this. As far as your wiring under the car goes, if you were just gonna replace the pump to another inline, you could just rewire it here. Obviously, you could just plug it back in if you're running like a Mitsubishi or Chrysler or whatever engine you're running, but we're doing a 2J. So obviously this is kind of super overkill. And then this is the connector that you have for your level unit for your fuel level. So this is just gonna run back to the side of the tank. We're gonna go ahead and drill a hole in this unit here, put a little bulkhead fitting there with the wires that go down to the pump to a connector. And yeah, guys, that's gonna pretty much do it. So we're gonna get it all back in and show you guys how to do the pump conversion on this thing and how you can get it done and how we're gonna be doing it. And hopefully this will kind of simplify everybody having to deal with that mess of stuff. I don't have any problem with inline fuel pumps. Don't think I'm talking crap on them. They do work great. Just for the application that we're doing with the power that we're doing, you're gonna have to run something like this, guys. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through this. The PTE line conversion with the bulkhead is done for the Starion. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right underneath the car right now and show you guys what's up and how it was all done. And this is gonna pretty much conclude the video. All right, guys, so check it out. So we got the PTE line going to the front. We got the E85 rated hose in the rear now. This is a Teflon hose that we sell to be able, it'll actually basically keep you from having to do PTE. If you're just gonna do like a fuel line replacement, it's pretty popular. I don't know if I can get my phone all the way up in there, but you can kind of see there's your AN to your bulkhead up there, your new fuel pump wiring, and your other PTE Teflon line. And then the line will run up through here against the chassis, against the rest of the fuel lines, all the way down to your fuel filter. This is a 10 micron E85 rated fuel filter, more PTE line, all the way up to now the fuel rail on the intake manifold. There you go. So that's how you'll do it, guys, if you're gonna be doing stuff. I mean, if you're gonna be doing big power, this line that we'd be putting in would be basically -8 or -10 line. But for the whole idea of just getting it done for this car's only gonna be doing about 500 horsepower on, you know, stock rims and a bunch of other stuff. So just showing you guys what's up. And for anybody who has any questions or ideas about this whole thing, or you know how they can do this conversion to their car, or kind of different other fuel options, feel free to go ahead and message me through YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and stay with it, guys. All right, guys, this is gonna go ahead and conclude the video on the Chrysler Conquest TSI. I mean, lots and lots of stuff to do for this thing still, but we are scheduled for dyno for about mid-May. So if you guys have been waiting for this thing to be done, we are there. If you wanted to get a quick peek at how it's gonna look and where we're at kind of right now, here you go. 2J's GT EVVTi all mounted in. Radiator setup is done. Fan setup is done. Turbo kit for now. For the mock-up kit, this is actually the turbo kit that he brought us. It's one of our old precision replicas that we used to sell back in the day. Chinese turbo, Chinese manufacturer that we kind of helped design back in the day. But pretty much we're at intercooler piping and a couple other things. So go ahead and stay with this whole entire build on our channel. It's gonna be super sick. The car is like beautiful when it's all together and interior wise. If you haven't seen the video yet, go ahead and check in my channel. The video of when this car first came in is on there, and the whole teardown. So, I mean, as you can see, we got a long way to go. This is a necessary thing to do to your fuel pump assembly in this vehicle if you're trying to make Supra numbers and Supra power. So, you know, once again, like I told you guys, any kind of questions or concerns or any kind of ideas you guys got, go ahead and run them by me on the Instagram or the channel. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.